Hey guys, I get a lot of questions on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel from people who are saying that they're confused about how to eat a whole foods plant-based diet because a lot of the doctors differ in what they say in books and in videos, etc. So there are several things that most of the plant-based doctors agree on, and I'm going to discuss those first. The first thing is most of them agree that having any kind of oil is not good for the body. It's not good for the body if you're trying to lose weight because it has very highly concentrated calories and it's 100% fat. Also, oils can damage the endothelial lining of your arteries. So for anybody, whether or not you're trying to lose weight, this is not a good thing for you. So oil is probably the number one thing that all of the plant-based doctors agree is not good in your diet. The second thing that they all agree on is that you shouldn't eat processed vegan junk food. And that means chips, cookies, crackers, things in a package that are highly fattening, have lots of sugar, and have processed white flour and sugar in them. Most of them would say that having processed vegan junk food in your diet is not going to be good for you, whether you're overweight or not. It's just not good for the body. Also, all of the plant-based doctors pretty much will say that processed white flour and white sugar products are not good for you. So that means any kind of bread, muffin, cookie, cake, pasta, tortillas, any of those things that are made with processed white flour along with white sugar are not going to be good for you to eat on this lifestyle. Again, this is an obvious one, but they all agree pretty much that you should not be having any animal products, any dairy, or any eggs. Now, there are a few doctors that are a little bit more lenient in the sense that they would rather you transition to this lifestyle by having a little bit of that until you get there, but they all truly believe in their hearts that you shouldn't be having any of those three things. And then the last thing they definitely all agree that we should be having are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and beans or legumes. So there's no question about that. They all believe that. So if you're eating those 4 food groups, you're doing fabulously. Okay, so now let's talk about the differences. Some of them vary in how much whole food fats that they think you should have, meaning like should you have avocado, and how often should you have avocado? Should you be eating nuts and seeds? They do vary on that. And so what I would have to say about that is you're going to have to test your body, meaning if you're eating nuts and seeds and you're gaining weight, either you're eating too many of them or maybe your body cannot handle having the nuts and seeds on a regular basis. Also, check your blood work because when I stopped eating nuts and seeds, I actually had a spike in my cholesterol. So some people actually do better with a small amount of nuts and seeds in their diet, particularly walnuts are what I eat the most, and I usually use other nuts in my dressings, like I might use some cashews, some almonds, but again, very small amounts every day, 1 ounce or less. And then I always have a tablespoon of flaxseed, ground flaxseed. And I would say that all of the doctors agree that 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed a day is definitely essential for your health. It will give you the omega-3 fatty acids that you need, and it's also good for your skin, your nails, your hair. It gives you the whole fat that you need on a daily basis. Okay, some of them vary on how often you should have tofu or edamame. Even though they fall in the category under legumes, they are actually higher in fat. So if you're trying to lose weight, having tofu every single day could actually stall your weight loss. So just keep that in mind. So some of the doctors advocate tofu and tempeh and edamame on a regular basis, and some say that that should be something that you eat maybe a meal or a meal or 2 a week, and that would be plenty. Also, some doctors don't advocate any flours, even whole grain flours. So they may recommend that you not have any tortillas or pasta, especially if you're trying to lose weight. And the reason is because flour is more calorie dense than the whole intact grain. So I've talked about this before, but if you have a jar of oats about this big and it's 500 calories, and then you grind it to a flour, you're going to grind it down a little bit, and you're going to have less actual physical volume, but it's still going to be the same 500 calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, you need to be careful with those flours. Also, some of the doctors say don't eat any chocolate, and some of them think a small amount of chocolate is okay and actually beneficial to you because it has antioxidants and other good nutrients in it, especially if you're eating the darker chocolate, which is vegan. But again, I think they would all agree that large amounts of chocolate are not good for you. Smaller amounts, if any, would be acceptable. Also, some doctors don't agree that you should drink any black coffee or black tea, and yet some say it's okay. And then the last thing is sweeteners. Some doctors say go SOS, no salt, no oil, no sugar. Some of the plant-based doctors say some sugar is fine. It's going to be okay as long as you're not overloading it in your diet, and it actually improves the taste of certain things that you're eating. So now you have these differences and you're not sure which one of those things you should do or not do. And this is where I think you as a person have to test out what works best for you. So again, trying out nuts and seeds and seeing how that affects your blood work, seeing how that affects your weight, see if it affects the way you feel. If it is adverse for you, don't eat them. The same thing with whole fats. Some people can handle a little bit more avocado or even some light coconut milk from time to time, and it doesn't affect their weight and it doesn't affect their cholesterol level, and that's okay for them. So everything has to be tested on you because you are unique. You're different from the next person. And although a lot of the doctors will recommend not doing or doing something, they also understand that everybody is unique and you're going to have to test and see what works best for you. So I would say the areas where they agree, we should all do what they're saying. No oil, eating those whole plant foods and not eating the processed foods, and then thinking about the differences that they have and testing those on your own body to see how you do. Make sure that you get your blood work done. Make sure you see where your cholesterol level is, where your blood glucose level is. Check your B12, check your vitamin D, and see how you're doing. And then basically create your own plan from what you've learned. Hope that helped. Have a great day.